She thought humans were weak. Then he proved her. Wrong Commander Zara Keth stood on the bridge of her warship watching the small blue planet below. Her 7-foot frame cast a shadow over the human prisoner they had brought aboard the creature. It was so small and fragile-looking that she almost felt sorry for it. Her people, the Draxians, had conquered 12 star systems in the past decade. They were known throughout the galaxy as unstoppable warriors. Their thick purple skin could stop most energy weapons, and their strength was legendary among alien races. The human male sat quietly in the detention cell. He had sandy brown hair and wore a simple gray uniform that marked him as crew from one of the destroyed Earth ships. His name was Jake Miller. According to the file, Zara had read the reports about Earth. The humans had only recently developed faster than light travel. Their weapons were primitive. Their ships were weak. Their military tactics were outdated. How they had managed to survive this long in the galaxy was a mystery to her. She walked down to the detention level to get a closer look at this strange species. The other Draxian officers followed behind her. They wanted to see what all the fuss was about regarding these new aliens. Jake looked up when she entered the cell block. His blue eyes showed no fear, which surprised her. Most species cowered when they first saw a Draxian warrior. "So you are human," she said in her deep voice that echoed off the metal walls. "That would be correct," Jake replied calmly. Zara tilted her large head, studying him. "Your people sent 30 ships to defend your colony world. We destroyed all of them in less than an hour. Your species fights like children playing war games." Jake shifted slightly, but his expression remained neutral. "We did our best with what we had. Your best was pathetic." Zara laughed. "Your weapons barely scratched our hull plating. Your tactics were so simple we predicted every move. Tell me, human, why? Should we not simply erase your entire species from existence? Because that would be wrong," Jake said simply. The answer caught Zara off guard. She had expected begging or bargaining or offers of surrender. Instead, this small creature spoke about right and wrong as if such concepts mattered in warfare. "Wrong," she repeated. "There is no right or wrong in conquest. There is only strong and weak. Your people are weak, therefore you will be eliminated." Jake stood up slowly. His movement was fluid and controlled despite the energy restraints around his wrists. "You think strength is only about thick skin and big muscles? What else could it be?" Zara scoffed. "Let me show you something," Jake said. "Remove these restraints and give me 5 minutes, alone with your strongest warrior. If I win, you spare Earth. If I lose, you can do whatever you want." The other Draxian officers burst into laughter. The idea that this small human could defeat any of them was absurd. Zara herself was amused by the suggestion. "You cannot be serious," she said. "Completely serious," Jake replied. "Unless you are afraid." That struck a nerve. Draxians were never afraid of anything, especially not tiny humans. Zara felt her pride rising. "Very well, I accept your challenge. But when you lose, and you will lose, your people will suffer for your arrogance." They moved to the ship's combat arena, a large circular room with padded walls. The entire crew gathered to watch what they expected to be a quick and brutal demonstration. Zara selected her champion, Lieutenant Corax, who stood 8 feet tall and weighed twice as much as any human. His arms were as thick as tree trunks, and his hide was scarred from countless battles. The energy restraints were removed from Jake's wrists. He rubbed them briefly, then walked to the center of the arena. Corax lumbered forward, confident in his superior size and strength. "Begin," Zara commanded. Corax charged forward with his massive fists raised. He moved with surprising speed for his size, but Jake was faster. The human slipped to the side at the last second, letting Corax's momentum carry him past. The Draxian warrior spun around, swinging his arms in wide arcs, trying to catch the elusive human. But Jake ducked and weaved, avoiding every blow while staying just out of reach. The crew began to murmur among themselves. This was not going as expected. The human was making their champion look clumsy and slow. Corax roared in frustration and launched himself forward again. This time, Jake did not dodge. Instead, he stepped into the attack, grabbing Corax's extended arm and using the warrior's own momentum to throw him across the room. The massive Draxian crashed into the padded wall with enough force to shake the entire arena. He got Up slowly, his purple face dark with anger and embarrassment. Impossible, Zara whispered. How did he do that? Jake stood calmly in the center of the room. Strength is not just about raw power. It's about knowing how to use what you have. Your champion is strong, but he fights with emotion, not strategy. Korax attacked again, more carefully this time. But Jake seemed to anticipate every move. The human's smaller size became an advantage as he slipped inside the Draxian's guard and struck precise blows to vital points. Each hit was perfectly placed, targeting nerve clusters and pressure points that even Draxian armor could not fully protect. Jake moved like water flowing around obstacles, always in motion, never staying still long enough to be caught. Within minutes, Korax was on his knees, gasping for air. The proud warrior who had never been defeated was helpless against this small human who fought with knowledge instead of brute force. The arena fell completely silent. Every Draxian stared in shock at what they had just witnessed. Their strongest fighter had been defeated by a creature they had considered weak and worthless. Jake walked over to Zara. Your people are strong, but strength without wisdom is just destruction. Humans learned long ago that the greatest victories come not from crushing your enemies, but from understanding them. Zara felt something she had never experienced before. Uncertainty. She had built her entire worldview around the idea that might makes right. But this human had just proven that wrong with his bare hands. How? She asked quietly. We are not the biggest or the strongest species in our galaxy, Jake explained. We learned to survive by being smart, by working together, by never giving up no matter how bad things looked. Every human child grows up learning that David can defeat Goliath if he fights smart. David and Goliath. Zara repeated, unfamiliar with the reference, an old story about a small shepherd boy who defeated a giant warrior with nothing but a sling and a stone. The giant thought size was everything. The boy knew better. Zara looked around at her crew. She could see doubt in their eyes for the first time. They were questioning everything they thought they knew about strength and weakness. What do you want? She asked. Peace. Jake said, your people are warriors, mine are builders. Together, we could accomplish great things. Instead of conquering worlds, you could help protect them. Instead of destroying civilizations, you could help them grow. And if we refuse, Jake's expression grew serious, then you will learn what humans are really capable of when they fight to protect everything they love. You have seen one man fight with restraint and honor. Do not force us to show you what an entire species can do when pushed to desperation. The threat was delivered quietly, but it carried more weight than any roar or boast. Zara realized that she had made a terrible mistake in judging these humans by their appearance. You would fight us even knowing you cannot win? She asked. We would fight you because we cannot lose. Jake corrected. Not when the lives of our families and children depend on it. Defeat means nothing to humans when the alternative is extinction. We will keep fighting until the last breath leaves our bodies. Zara had conquered many worlds and faced countless enemies, but none had ever spoken with such quiet conviction. The humans were not weak at all. They were something far more dangerous than she had realized. They were brave. Over the following hours, Jake shared more about human history and culture. He told stories of ordinary people doing extraordinary things when faced with impossible odds. He explained how humans had survived ice ages and plagues and wars that should have destroyed them. Each tale revealed another layer of human strength. Not physical power, but something deeper. The will to endure, the refusal to surrender, the ability to find hope in the darkest moments. Zara began to understand that she had been looking at strength all wrong. Her people measured it in terms of what they could destroy. Humans measured it in terms of what they could preserve and protect. When the time came to make her decision, Zara stood before her crew and announced that the invasion of Earth was canceled. The human homeworld would be left alone and diplomatic contact would be established instead. Some of her officers protested, but their arguments seemed hollow after what they had witnessed. The small human had defeated their greatest warrior without even breaking a sweat. How many more surprises did his species have waiting? As Jake prepared to leave the ship in a diplomatic shuttle, Zara stopped him at the airlock. Your people are more dangerous than I thought, she said. Jake smiled for the first time since his capture. We are only dangerous to those who threaten what we love, Commander Zara. To our friends, we are the most loyal allies in the galaxy. And which will the Draxians be? That choice is yours to make. Zara watched the shuttle depart, carrying Jake back to Earth. She had learned something important that day about the nature of true strength. It was not found in thick armor or powerful weapons. It lived in the heart of a species that refused to break no matter how hard the universe tried to crush them. The humans had looked weak from the outside, but inside they carried something that no amount of physical power